Hey y'all, it's Shakari. Welcome back to my channel. Um, it's been a minute. It's been quite the minute. I took a little reset. A couple months ago, me and my family, we went back home to Chicago just to spend some time with family. I went to really go see my little cousin on prom, but we were there for about a week and it was enough time for us to just kind of hang out with family, had a good time. Baby, I ate, went to the show. Me and my homegirl had a couple of cocktails. Got to see my mom and hug my mom and hang out with my parents. It was a good time. It was really the reset I needed. Got some clarity on some things that I have been praying to God about and just got to chill. Was able to press pause and just chill, which was super needed. Um, and so, yeah, we got home, came back home to Austin, and got the ball back rolling. And I was on the phone with my homegirl the other day, and this particular day, I was feeling really low. Like I'm a moody girl, and I just be like this. But when I go low, sometimes I be really sad. And so, we were on the phone. My friend, she called me. Actually, I was like having a moment, child, baby crying and everything. And so my friend called me, and I didn't want to ignore her call. So I'm like, okay, let me get it together real quick. Hello, like, what is wrong with you? Me and her, we were on the phone. We were having a good conversation. We were having a good conversation. Anytime me and her on the phone, we're on the phone for quite a bit. And so toward the end of the conversation, she asked me something. I forgot what she asked me, but I was like, girl, I was toe up before you called. Like I was toe up right before we got on the phone. And she was like, friend, do you think you're depressed? Do you think you're going through postpartum depression? And I was like, I do. And I was telling her how for a minute I didn't want to like claim, because like anytime I talk to my husband or my mom, Christians, we'd be like, don't claim that, don't say you're depressed. But so I would say like, oh, I'm just really sad, or like, oh, I'm in a season of melancholy or whatever. And you know, I think that you just have to be real about how you feel. Like if you are depressed or you feel deep sadness, like it's so important to talk to people about that. And for me, like I'm the kind of person that will try to like continue to function, like very high functioning. It feels negative and you don't want to, and I didn't want to feel that, but I was in this space where I didn't necessarily know how to get myself out of those negative feelings. And like I knew what to do. The main thing is going to God. And I couldn't even really come go to God for real. And so me and her were talking, and she's like, "Friend, do you think you're depressed?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Like, I get sad a lot." And she's like, "You have been through a lot in the past few years. You only a couple years postpartum, and like with everything going on, give yourself time to grieve what you thought your family was gonna look like, what you thought your life was gonna look like, who you thought you'd be by this time." Just the circumstances that you're in right now. Give yourself time to grieve and give yourself grace. And I loved that so much because I never really thought about that. I never really thought about like grieving because I think it's admitting that something is wrong in trying to handle it. I guess I don't know. I think I was kind of like I don't know. I think maybe I was maybe just afraid to give myself grief because I mean to allow myself to grieve because am I even trusting God? Like child, I was all over the place, but I appreciated her saying that so much. And she's like, I'm gonna give yourself a month to grieve. And I've been trying to actively do that. And I was having another conversation with a good friend, and she was telling me, she was like, you need to tell God that you are angry and that you are disappointed. God is not afraid of your feelings. He's not afraid of your sadness, your shame, your disappointment in Him, you being angry at Him. You need to give that to Him so He can feed back into you. And it sounds so simple. And it's like, at this big age, you would think that I would know that. But sometimes, you know, sadness and shame includes so many other feelings like shame and all these, which is really rooted in pride. These things were taking over me, and it made me be at a standstill. I just felt too ashamed to come to God with my anger, because it's like, how dare I be mad at him? But like I said, God is not phased by that. He's not, you know, moved by me being, or shying away from me being angry at him. Like, if anything, um, he just wants me to come close. So what I did after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just tell God that I'm mad. I'm gonna spend some time in prayer. And God led me to Psalm 34:18, which says, God is near the brokenhearted, and he saves the crushed in spirit. And y'all, that has been my anchor verse for a few weeks. Okay. And I've been holding that really close to my heart. Like, it just made me feel comforted instantly. Like, as soon as I read it, I prayed that scripture to God, and I said, hey, you said that you would be near to me. You said that, you know, you would come and save me. And so, outside of praying and taking that to God, I was like, okay, I do not want to feel how I currently feel. What can I do to not feel like this? Because the thing about like sadness and depression, it's so heavy. It makes you feel like you are out of control. But I realized, like, okay, the negative feelings that I feel on the inside, God, those are not characteristics that God gave me. So where are these things coming from? They're not coming from him. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to feel this. What do I need to do? One thing that I told myself that I would do consistently was get in the gym. And so your girl had been back in the gym. I was like in the gym that whole week, eating better, and involving myself in things that I enjoy, like just the simple things, like even just listening to music, turning that on and cleaning the house, or even just dancing around the house, rewatching shows that I loved, and trying to make it a point every day to sit in prayer. And this is like duh, right? But like, I'm realizing that I cannot evolve and move on truly in life without God like leading me and counseling me. And because I just feel like when you spend time with God, you're reminded of your source, you're reminded of your help, you are reminded of who your comforter is. And I needed that so bad in this season to kind of pull me up, because I have an agenda. I got some things that I'm trying to get done this year. Some I've accomplished, you know, and we still have so much more year left. Like, God can do so much if I just allow him in and allow him to do a work in me, which is not easy to do because life be life and people be people in, and sometimes things suck. But I'm just so grateful for like the people around me who have been encouraging me to, like, hey girl, you got it. So what are we really doing? Okay, let's get up out of that. Let's do something else. And it seems like I was saying before, like depression, it feels so heavy. It feels like we cannot get out. I think I had to believe that sadness does not rule me, and I'm not a slave to sadness, and I can decide how I want to feel when I wake up in the morning. And when it comes to just living just a fruitful life, it just requires work. So you might have to get up 5 a.m. if that means that you can get things done sooner and have a smoother day. You might have to cut back on some of those calories. You might have to change the type of conversations that you're having. You might have to go the extra step and extra mile, but in the end, it's worth it. Because I just know that so many people are just functioning in their depression, and they end up living their lives this way because we sometimes just kind of give up. And I just don't want to be one of those people that give up. Like, I'm always going to be the girl that tries, but this time I'm trying with God, and I want to consistently do that this year. And I can proudly say that lately I've been just kind of flowing. My my mood and my emotions have been regulated, and my friend, she was telling me, she's like, your nervous system is out of whack. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I say this all the time because, like, and I've talked about this before, but we move so much and then having a baby, then moving again, like so many things back to back. And it's like, okay, whoa, hold up, too much. And I think sometimes we don't want to seem weak. So we just try to, like, tack on all these things and try to carry everything. But sometimes I be a little, sometimes I'm a little soft and I can't do all of that. And I don't want to do all of that. But, and I thank God for a partner who covers me and who prays for me. And my husband is so emotionally intelligent, and he carries so much on the daily. I'm just grateful that I can just live this life with him and I can walk this and I trust my life with him. And it's something really special to have somebody in your life who is covering you, because sometimes, or we've gone through seasons where, like, sometimes I'm doing the heavy lifting and I'm the one that's praying and giving him back to God and all these things like that. And some seasons it's him that's doing that for me. And I was just telling him the other day, like, hey, I really just thank you for this first half of the year, allowing me time to rest and to just get my mind together, because it really does take time. Like, sometimes it takes more than 21 days, sometimes it takes more than a month to get yourself back aligned with the Lord. But I just believe in the calling that's on my life, and I think that we all should. There is something for all of us to do, and we have to we have to have enough courage to actually believe God and to actually live out the life that is for us to live. And sometimes that means letting go of certain things. And I think that's what trips us up sometimes. It's like we're afraid of what may be on the other side of change. But either you gonna change or things are just gonna change around you and you gonna stay the same. I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful. I feel so much lighter, and I can see what God is doing around me. And I'm grateful that God is even sovereign in the painful times. You know what I mean? And so he really uses everything for our good. And so I just want to encourage y'all to really do some inventory of your heart. What's really going on the inside of you? Do you need to have a hard conversation with God? Know that he is not afraid of the hard conversation with you. He's actually waiting on you to have that conversation with him. And he tells us, abide in me and I'll abide in you. And so he's just constantly waiting on us. So I want to encourage y'all to, like, get on the ball. It's July. We have so much of the year left, and your life could look totally different. And we hear this all the time. You're hearing it from people who actually, like, are taking the steps so that life can look different. Yeah, let's be different. Let's look different. Let's feel different, and yeah. So just wanted to check in real quick. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Bye.